Now it helps us just now if we number these points just as they would appear on a clock. So there's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and back up to 12. This helps us when we project these from the plan view down to the elevation and then across to the end elevation. So that being said, we can start projecting these down just now. Start off with number 9, put your pencil on there, slide your set square along, and project that line right down. Same with number 8, project it straight down. 7, 6 should be aligned anyway because that's the centre line. Number 5, and 4, and then finally the edge is number 3. Number 3. Next thing we need to do is project each of these cuts across. So where the projection lines cross over the cut surface, in this case for number 7 is here, we can take all these marks across. We'll start off just at the top of this one. That one's number 3. Here's number 4 and 2. Here's number 5 and 7. Number 6 and 12. Here's number 7, 8 and 9. And we can do the same with the bottom cut. That cut's there. That intersects the cut surface. And we can just shoot these right along. Cool. Now we need to transfer the points from here down to here, and the way we do that is with a bounce line. And in this particular drawing, we could just take the bounce line as a 45-degree line going from the very top of this view, like that. So that's 45 degrees. Again, make sure that this is pressed right against there, and you can slide it along until it matches up with that part, and you can just draw the 45-degree line in. Now, just a case of bringing all of these generators across. Here's number 3, that will be the centre. 2, 1, and 12. If we drop these down, where they intersect, we will be able to draw in an accurate representation of the view. There we are. Now numbering these, number 6 is at the bottom here, and the generator comes right along and straight down here, and this line is number 6. The next one along from that is number 5. Number 5, and if we're looking at this view, the end elevation, we're looking at it straight here. We're going to see number 5 first, and then number 7. So we'll pop 5 there, and behind that is number 7. Same thing for number 4. We're looking straight on at this view. We see number 4 first, and behind that is number 8. So we can pop 4 there with 8 in brackets. And we see number 3, then number 9 here. So I've pop 3 with 9 in brackets. We see number 2 first, then number 10, 2 and 10, and 1 and 11 there. 1 and 11 and 12 here. We can also just number these just now. So looking at the elevation, we're looking at it in this direction. You see number 6 is right in the middle, 12 behind it. And see number 5 is to the right of 6 with 1 behind there. 5 and 1, 4 and 2, number 3, and here we have 7 and 11, 8 and 10, and number 9. That's just how we number these things, following the line straight down from where they cross over the circle here, and bring it right down, and we can label it that way. Now it's just like a dot to dot. Very simply, we've got 2 grids here that we can fill in, and because this is a cut surface of a cylinder, we're going to see an ellipse shape on our end elevation. So choosing the start point, let's imagine this is cut right across here. That's number 9. So we'll choose number 9 and 3. I've labelled that incorrectly. That's number 3, that's 12, that's 6 and that's 9. Sorry about that. So if we imagine we've got this all clock faced here, we can start off at number 3, that's the highest point. So we bring this, so number 3 cuts the cylinder there, we can bring that right across to where the line meets up here, and that gives us just a wee dot here. Same thing with number 4 and number 2, bring number 4 down to where it crosses over, and we've already taken that across, so number 4, we need to do a wee bit of following here. Number 4 cuts right there, number 2's there, and we can go ahead and fill this in exactly the same way. So there's number 6, we can check it's number 6 there, good, and it's also number 6 up here, follow that along, great, and just work our way back in. You remember from previous drawings, we go down and along, down and along, down and along, and we can't go down anymore in this grid, so we go along and up, along and up, along and up, and we can't go out the way anymore, so we go back in and up, back in up, back in up, and that will give us a nice ellipse shape that we can freehand in lightly for now, because the reason I'm saying freehand it lightly is because this is hidden detail. If we're looking, the end elevation here is looking at this surface like that, so because this is all hidden behind this edge, we can't see that, so we'll need to fill that with hidden detail later. We can do the same thing at the bottom, using the points we have there, and this time this edge will be an outline, and all this stuff in here will be hidden detail. No, it won't, it'll all be an outline. Like that. And then you can draw these lines up to join the top. And I'll have it flipped upside down. That there will be the top curve. And it'll join on to this dashed line down here. Okay, that's the hidden detail here. I'll show you. Next thing, onto the surface development. Surface development is going to be a bit more tricky on this one, but never fear, we've already got all the work down here. So this drawing gives us a starting point for the surface development, so we can put a sliding rule there, take it straight across, and use our set square to draw that line straight up and down. Now comes the fun numbering part. We're going to cut this right along number 3, so I'm going to start off going from 3 to 4. So we just, in fact, put the compasses on there, bring that wee wheel in, and there's number 3 and 4. So if this is number 3, we can then mark off 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, and back to 3, just ever so slightly in frame. We may need to make these a bit taller, so we'll just extend the lines right up. Number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, and back to 3. So, we'll start off doing the top cut first of all, and all the sizes can be lifted off using the compasses. So if we come right down to the bottom corner here, where we imagine the cylinder hasn't been cut, that gives us, if the cylinder wasn't cut, then it would look like that. So we're going to come right down to the bottom corner, and this is generator 3, this is edge 3, so we'll take that right up to there, right up to the top, and this gives us the biggest extent. Transfer that side onto there, and same the other side. Then we can move in to generator 4, that's the next one in. And we can wind that in ever so slightly so that it's touching, pins on there, leads move to number 4, and that number 4 is also the same as number 2, so we can pop that in number 2. Next one across is number 5 and 1, there's number 5, put that up number 1. Next one is 6 and 12, so we can see there's 6 there, 6 and 12, and we've got 7 and 11 here, 7 and 11. You can see the sort of curve starting to come in here already, and you can the scientists in you will be able to predict what that will look like. This is 8 and 10, 8 and 10, excellent, and this last one's number 9, great. Now we can start off doing the bottom sizes. It's the exact same, only instead of going all the way up to the top, I'm going to come down to the bottom here. Here's number 3, number 3, number 3, numbers 4 and 2, number 4, number 2, number 5 and 1, number 5, number 1. 6 and 12 is here. We're almost getting to the stage where it may be impractical to use the compasses to do such small sizes. And here, that one is 7 and 11, so 7 and 11. 8 and 10 is so tiny. 8 and 10 is just right there. And 8 and 10. And number 9 is touching just at the bottom here. That being said, we can take this out of the drawing clips and we can freehand in the curved shape. Now it's important when we're doing this that we don't follow the tip of the pencil as we're drawing, but instead we might look 2 or 3 points ahead, and that'll let us get a nice curve in. A nice curve in here, like so. We draw it nice and lightly. This is the one time where I don't mind you drawing with hairy lines. However, do try and make your line motion smooth and continuous. There's the top shape. Next curve, straight down here. Number 10 to here. All we're doing here is joining up the dots. Like so. It makes quite a funky wave. That's the drawing done. All it's done now is to add in fold lines along here and outline everything, transfer it onto tracing paper, onto card, and then cut it out to make your cut cylinder. Thanks very much.